All right. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
All right. Hello, and welcome to the third episode of the Pure Michigan Properties Podcast. My name is Dylan Mostyn, and I'm joined with
Shalonda Waither.
Hello, Shalonda.
Dylan.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Well, you know what? I take that back. I'm struggling today. Today is a struggle.
What's going on?
I'm just not. I don't know. I just woke up and I'm tired and
Yeah.
I'm definitely not 100%, but I'm here.
You're here. You showed up, and that's the
it.
most important part. It really is.
Oh, I will always show up. I'll always be there.
Good. And listen, I love to tell people, I'm like, listen, not every day is going to be a 100% day.
No.
But if you can give 100% of what you have that day, that's a win.
I like that.
That's a win.
That is a win.
Because not every day I feel 100%. Like today, I'd say I'm about a 70.
Yeah,
but if I can give 100% of my 70, I'm happy.
And that's what we'll give today. Today we're going forward. We're going to be great. That means putting our best effort forward.
Simple as that.
So let's do it. What are we talking about today?
Today I'm so excited because we're going to be talking about the differences between renting and buying. And really, we're going to give kind of an overview of the process.
Okay.
I'm so excited because this is kind of an area that like I love to talk about, especially with my friends, because a lot of my friends do rent. And not that I'm trying to convert them into buyers or whatever right now.
No, right now.
Yeah. But it's cool because I get to give them information and knowledge about it just because now they see me as the expert in home buying and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I can just provide them information, provide them value. So it makes me feel really good knowing that I'm helping to educate my friends and my family about the topics of renting and buying.
I think that's the why. That's one of my whys, why I got into real estate. Just educating and helping. So,
right.
Would it make sense then if we talk about how we can price match rental rates to help individuals start to buy into their legacy plan and secure the keys to their future?
I think that would be great. And so actually beforehand, when we were planning out this episode, I actually pulled in an example that I wanted to share with the audience because I don't think a lot of people understand. You can pretty much price match a rental rate from a mortgage rate and that buying difference because really some of them are pretty similar or right around there. So I want to give you an example.
Let's hear it.
So I wrote it down. So let's say you're looking at a house, right? Purchase price is $200,000. You put a down payment of 10%. That's $20,000 you're putting down, right?
Okay.
And to be on the safe side with interest rates, let's say you have a 7.5 interest rate, okay?
Now, Dylan, quick question. Let's talk about the down payment, right?
Yeah.
We're speaking renting versus buyers.
Yep.
And for someone who does not have the $20,000 to put down on the $200,000 home, what are some ways that they can combat that?
Yeah, so there's different programs that Michigan specifically offers. There's grants, there's other things that you can do. And that's what I tell them a lot of my clients is let's have that conversation. Let's see what the best avenue is for you because you know what? A lot of people assume the 20% down payment is what you need to do. Or 20% down payment, which is not true. There's different types of loans that will make it. I think you can go as low as I think there's some that don't have to put anything down, but
there are some depending on the program.
Yeah.
So there are options is what we're letting you know today as far as down payment assistance, especially if you're renting and you're purchasing for your first time. There's available resources.
There's a lot that are out there, and that's where we'll match you with a good person who understands those programs well.
Yeah.
And we'll figure out what that best avenue is for you because, like I said, a lot of people think they have to put that 20% down, which is not true.
That's right.
You can go way lower. I mean, for this example, I only did 10%. But you can get even lower than that. So for $20,000, let's say you're putting on the down payment with a 7.5% interest rate.
Ooh,
let's
scary.
Let's say the length of your loan is going to be 30 years, right? But this isn't going to include the additional determining factors like taxes, HOA, homeowners insurance, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
There's other factors in there, but let's just say for this example, that's what the numbers break down to.
Okay. And so,
I think you're going to be pretty impressed to hear your estimated payment is going to be around 1,300.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you. So tell me, what does that look like on a monthly basis?
Yep.
And you mentioned something scary right now, and let's address the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Interest rates, right?
Yeah. So it's all on the news. Everyone's talking about it. Oh my God, it's a crazy interest rate. That's why no one's moving, because people are they have that 2.5, 3% interest rate right now in their home.
Correct.
And they're like, well, that wouldn't make sense for me to move. But what if I told you it could make sense?
It definitely could make sense. There are multiple ways that we can make it make sense, right?
Right.
And here's one thing though, to give hope, right, for those renting and wanting to purchase their home is in the spring. There's an expectancy that the Federal Reserve have already announced that interest rates will be decreasing.
Yeah, so I did write down a little fact that I got offline. It was that interest rates will always play a factor, right? But did you hear that the Federal Reserve will cut interest rates 6 times in 2024 as the economy shows clear signs of cooling down? So that's what ING said. So bringing buyers back into that market, saying, hey, listen, like you said, there's hope. It's not, it'll come back down. Obviously, we can't guarantee it. We're not the ones who can say it. But like, ING is saying it. So I think that definitely gives a lot of hope, especially considering that, like, especially this year, a lot of people were talking about interest rates, and it was a negative topic of conversation, I guess you can say.
And I guess let's talk about this too. Let's mention interest rates are not the highest they've ever been, right?
Let's talk about that.
And I think that's important for our listeners to understand. However, we are in a different state of our economy has had some shifts, some major shifts happen.
Definitely.
And things are beginning to slow down. So
100%. I mean, I was looking up the data and the statistics behind it. I mean, interest rates used to be well above 10%.
Oh, 13%. What, in the 70s, I believe it was.
Yeah. And it's like people now, they're like 7.5, 8%. And they're like, oh my God, it's crazy. I'm like, well, if you're thinking it was crazy now, when it was that 13%,
imagine.
I don't even,
that conversation.
I was about to say I wasn't even part of that conversation, but I'm so glad I was not part of that. But and also there's another possibility of you have the option to refinance.
Oh yeah, you're not married to your mortgage terms. You can always refinance at a later date for those terms once those interest rates start to decline, right? And here's what's expected to happen when the interest rates decrease. We already have buyers. Let's first state there's already buyers in the market.
Right. I mean, even from like our own clientele, like
absolutely,
we built up a pipeline of buyers.
Yes.
Like us two can guarantee you there's buyers out there. We have them.
And here's the thing, right? If it makes sense now, that's the conversation we always have, and refinance for those better terms, because when those interest rates drop, buyers are going to saturate the market, and the market is going to be a little bit more competitive.
That's the best word. I was going to say.
That's what I'm going to say.
As soon as like there's like an inkling of those interest rates going down, buyers are going to swarm that market, which good for them, but it's going to get way more competitive. Home prices are going to rise, which means now you're probably going to be paying a lot more for that house compared to when you could have been paying a little bit higher of a mortgage payment and refinanced it.
And we're already seeing it now because interest rates are the lowest they've been in the last 60 days.
Yeah.
And mortgage applications are increasing.
It's crazy. I follow a lot of mortgage people on Instagram, and like they're constantly posting about like people getting pre-approved. I'm like, literally, it's insane. Like, the way the media perceives it is that like no one's in the market, but let me tell you, the market is there.
From my personal experience in business, what has happened for me, even this past week, I've been able to get 7 individuals over to a loan officer.
Right.
So,
and that's what I'm saying is like, it's funny because
Right.
It's not being shown like on a wide scale of things, but it's happening.
Yeah.
Even in your own example, you said you had 7 people.
I've had 7 people that I've referred to the loan officers, and they've had conversations, and a few of them been pre-approved. So
Yeah,
that just illustrates to you there are home buyers, and each day there are people in the market that's ready to start their journey.
I was gonna say now,
Yeah,
people are starting to have those conversations and saying, "Hey, like, I want to start seeing what options are out there for me in the market."
right.
And I mean, obviously, there's certain circumstances where renting makes more sense than buying, and then there's a lot of other circumstances where buying makes more sense than renting. Really, it's just starting with that conversation with an expert, a real estate expert,
Right.
to see what avenue is going to make the most sense for you. And really, with that, comes back to your big why of, well, why do you want to rent or why do you want to buy? What is those factors that are playing into your circumstances that
essentially what does this mean for you, right?
Exactly.
And I think that's the thing to know, right? Are we doing this to invest in ourselves? What does affordability mean and look like?
Yes.
And
because I tell like,
ready to transition.
And I love the fact you brought up affordability is because a lot of people, one, don't think they can afford it, and then I'll ask them like, okay, well, what can you afford? And then you know what they tell me? I don't know. Well, how can you tell me if you can't afford something if you don't know what you can afford? What is your purchasing power? What does that look like for you? And that's why I tell people, I'm like, listen, just go speak with a loan officer. Figure out your financials and see would it make sense for you.
That's right.
Because maybe you could buy and you just don't know it. You could start building your equity today.
Build the equity now, and you can pull from that equity and purchase more real estate. And at that point, it just becomes avenue for wealth building.
And you're really your legacy.
Yeah, your legacy plan, for sure. So
because you were saying the top 3 ways of building wealth are
through inheritance, business, and real estate. And with real estate, with home buying, it satisfies our basic survival need of shelter. You need food, water, heat, and shelter to survive. So,
and I mean, we all know that our population is increasing over time, and like you said, shelter is one of our basic needs. So, I mean, I noticed even just driving around my own community, homes are being built like crazy. Like they're constantly going up, which makes sense because our population is increasing, so we have to accommodate the demand, which means real estate's never going away.
Oh no,
it will always be here. I can guarantee you that. We will always need it. It's just not going away.
But tell them what's not happening. Right, we're not getting more land. So
I love that you said that, because genuinely, what I tell people, I'm like, yeah, the structure is important, but the most valuable thing you can own is really land, because that's what you can control. You can control the improvements you put on the land, what you do to the land, as long as it's within the zoning of what the community is and all that kind of stuff.
That's important.
There's a couple other things, but like that's why you have the conversations with us, because we'll help you figure out what you can do. Like, let's say you want to build like a commercial office on the land, and the zoning doesn't require.
Yeah, it has to be zoning criteria.
That's why we're like, have that conversation with us before you try to do something, and then you just made a mistake.
Yeah,
and we don't want to do that.
No, we don't want.
But
we don't want any mistakes.
Like you said, and I think it makes so much sense, is that we only have a certain amount of land. Yes, we can constantly keep building houses and everything, but really you need the land to build a house. You need the land to have
and someone has to own the land.
Someone has to own the land, and really the game is, how much land can you buy to build those structures?
You know what? We all have some knowledge of real estate and how it works. We were introduced to it at a young age when we were sitting around playing Monopoly with the family.
I remember. It's funny because none of us thought when we were playing Monopoly as like a kid, like this is like real life, but really it taught us.
That's right.
The more land you buy, or the more places or whatever you buy off the board, the more powerful and more the better success you have at winning.
Right.
And really, honestly,
I love how you put that.
Just think about real estate as monopoly.
Just monopoly.
The more you buy, the better you'll be in a position to be successful.
And if you agree with those terms, then hey, you have to reach out to us. It all starts with a conversation because you do not know what you don't know until you learn.
Knowledge really is power at the end of the day, and that's why I tell like a lot of like my friends is like when they say, "Oh, I don't know," I'm like, "Okay, well, let's get you some knowledge behind that question. Let's get you an answer. Let's have that conversation." Right.
Because now that you have that conversation, now you are able to execute, and when you execute, when opportunity, right? No, when preparation meets opportunity, then all good things are to come.
100%. It all starts with being prepared or making sure all your ducks are in a row really at the end of the day. And even like with my clients who are like, oh, I won't want to buy till like the spring or like the summer. I was like, great. Yeah, that's when you want to buy. But we still need to get you prepared. Need to start that's why we need to, exactly. That's why I'm like, we need to start now. We're already behind the ball. Let's get in front of the ball. Exactly. Because yeah, you want to buy that house then. But what happens when we don't do anything now? We just stay stagnant. And then once you're like, okay, Dylan, I'm ready to start buying now. I'm like, okay, well, did you get a pre-approval? Do you know your finances? Are you ready? Is your credit score good? Like, or is it healthy or whatever? And that's why I tell people, I'm like, we need to start now rather than later. And honestly, it never hurts to be more prepared than underprepared.
And see, and I don't know, like I'm really traditional, and it takes, for me, I want to ensure that when I'm sitting down with my clients during our consultation, that they understand here are the things that really needs to be considered, even for me to even help you move forward in the process. We've already, or us having the discussion, I need you to understand what your financial position is, right? Your income versus your outcome, or income versus your expenses.
Yes.
Right? And also where your credit is. Have a down payment plan.
Yes.
You know, and if there are blemishes or anything that you have to work on, getting you started on that journey to cleaning up your credit or anything. It could be just the financial discipline, right?
Even with that, and I love that because sorry, I'm gonna
go ahead.
Take that part where you said financial discipline. Our country has the worst issue with saving. We do not save. I don't know what it is, but we love to spend as a country. Like it just like like I'm the same way. I love to spend my money, but like in certain
I don't have too much to say on that. We'll leave that one.
So I tell my friends, I'm like, listen, when we're getting you into a home, you also need to realize we need to save. We need to understand your financial plan, and that's most likely than not going to include you having to save money. Absolutely. Maybe that, if I am going to hate to say it to my friends, maybe that means you're not buying as much Starbucks. And listen, trust me, I love my Starbucks.
So here's the thing. With your illustration from earlier, right? The rental rate and everything. Imagine this. That $200,000 property with that $1,300 mortgage payment over the term of 30 years.
Yep.
That's well over. Let's do the math. I didn't do the math. Over $500,000.
Yeah.
It's over half.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where do we want to? I don't know. That's something I always consider. I just gave someone $500,000 to rent a place, and I could have bought a home for way less.
I mean,
and it'd be my own.
I tell people, well, let me back up. So I actually used to be in the rental industry. I was a leasing consultant last year at a apartment complex, and it was fun. I loved the place. It was great. But it's crazy to me especially when I was breaking down the numbers of a purchase price of a $200,000 home. Let's say without the additional determining factors like HOA and all that kind of stuff, it comes out to be around $1,300, right? When I was a leasing consultant, our basic apartment started at $1,500. And that was just a basic, like, 2-bedroom, 1.5 bathroom, nothing fancy, nothing schmancy, none of that stuff. But you're getting the same, basically, like, structure, I guess you can say, in a way,
right,
of, like, when you can be getting into a home for maybe even less.
yeah.
Or even, let's just say, price match that, right? What if we're able to do that for you? Is that a conversation that I think people would want to have? For what? Let's say we sit down for you with 30 minutes.
Yeah.
If that made sense to you, wouldn't you want to have a 30-minute conversation with an expert
absolutely.
about it? See
Please
if maybe I can start building my equity right now, today,
yeah.
rather than giving 100% interest to your landlord, where once you're rent. And let me tell you this, rental rates always increase. I've never seen a rental rate be like, oh yeah, guys, just to let you know, we're decreasing. we're decreasing the rent this year. You're
we
good.
Love you. Yeah, thank you for your
I've
business.
heard of landlords like helping out like their tenants and everything, but like it's not like, oh, we're gonna decrease your guys' rent.
No, absolutely.
It's always gonna increase. So that's what I'm telling people. I'm like, let's just get you into a house.
Yeah,
if it makes sense for you financially, it would make me happy knowing I set you up for success.
And even if you choose to occupy it going in, understand that you have the freedom to do what it is you want to do with your property once you're in it.
Right.
There's other options where if you feel like, hey, this is maybe a little bit too much for me, you can rent it out, Airbnb it.
There's so many different avenues with
sell it and use it to acquire more properties
or
fund other aspects of your life.
It's crazy to me because when I first got into the industry, I really thought like real estate was kind of black and white, but it's really a gray area. You can do so much with it, and it really comes down to creativity with it.
True.
Because like most people just buy real estate as like their primary residence, which is a huge just win on its own. But like you said, you can Airbnb it, you can rent it, you can really do so much with a property that, like I said, just having a basic conversation with a real estate expert, we can start to explore those different avenues. And that's why I think it's so important just to have a 5-minute, 20-minute conversation.
So if you're looking to have the conversation, I think that this is an opportunity to reach out to us. We would love to hear what your thoughts are and if we can help you start to build your custom plan to help secure the keys to your future and buy into your legacy plan.
100%. You want to tell them about how they get in contact with you, Shalonda?
Sure. So give me a call. My name is Shalonda, 586-339-8321, or you can text. Also, you can find me, Google Wather, WATHER, Legacy Solutions, LLC, or reach out to me via social media, Facebook, Shalonda G. Wather, Realtor, Instagram, Shalonda_the_realtor.
Yep.
And I'm on TikTok as well.
Oh, you're a TikToker?
No, I'm not a TikToker. My son created the TikTok for me. But whatever. You can find me everywhere. Dylan, how can I reach you?
So the easiest way is just go on the internet and Google Dylan Mostyn. You can do Dylan Mostyn Real Estate. I can guarantee you it's whatever the first link is that pops up. That's
that guy.
He'll get you to at least my website or some kind of information where you can get to my phone number, which is 248-891-9860. You can either call or text that. Social media you can either get is going to be Dylan Mostyn Real Estate, DYLAN, Mostyn, MOSTYN Real Estate, or you can contact me by email, dylan@dylanmostyn.com. But the best way really is by phone number.
Yeah.
Either call or text.
Or you can reach us both if you were to call Keller Williams Advantage and ask for either myself, Shalonda Wather, or Dylan Mostyn.
100%. You'll get connected to either one of us.
That's right.
We would love to just sit down and have that conversation with you on how to really win in real estate.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure. I love it.
I love it too. And you know what the most exciting part about this episode specifically is? This was just part 1.
There is a part 2.
There's going to be a part 2 next week. So what we're going to be specifically talking about then is the differences and similarities of renting and buying, just so we can break that down on a clear scale for you guys to see which one would make more sense for you, because sometimes renting makes more sense than buying. Other times buying makes more sense than renting. And it's really, let's break this down. And then I always tell people, yes, hearing about it is great, but specifically I want to talk to you as the individual, because that's the best way I can, because this podcast really is just like a general blanket of like, hey, this is the information you guys need to know. We'll put it out there, and then you can make that determining factor.
Yeah.
But I think also getting to know someone on an individual, personal scale.
That's right.
That's the key.
And I like how you to the point of it's a blanket. Real estate is not right. It is not a one size fit all situation.
Yes. Yeah.
So it does start with that conversation, and we love to hear from you.
I mean, I even know like each deal is different, varying from person to person, property to property. It's never the same. And I think that's also what really excites me about this industry is like you're constantly having to get clever with what you're doing. It really keeps your brain just flowing.
Each conversation I've had is just like shoots dopamine, right? It's exciting every time I talk to someone new, right? Just because it's always something new.
Always something.
It's always something new.
And we're so excited to explore more of that in part 2 next week with you guys. So stick around, and we're excited to have that conversation.
Bye, y'all. Thank
Bye,
you for
guys.
joining us.
Thank you so much. Shalanda.